Rain pelted the cracked windows of Maggie's diner, turning the neon sign outside into a blur of red and blue. The late-night hum of the highway was broken only by the occasional truck roaring past. Inside, the smell of burnt coffee and fried bacon hung thick in the air. At the counter, Emma, a 27-year-old waitress with tired eyes and a polite smile, refilled a trucker's cup. She'd been on her feet for 9 hours straight. The place was nearly empty, just a couple of locals and the jukebox softly playing old country tunes. That's when they walked in. 4 men in leather jackets, soaked from the rain, their boots thudding heavily against the linoleum floor. The kind of sight that made the old regulars tense up and stare into their coffee. The back of their jackets read, Iron Brotherhood Motorcycle Club. Emma glanced up, her heart skipping a beat, not from fear, but from memory. The last time a biker group came in, the owner had to throw them out after they started an argument. But these guys? They didn't look drunk or angry. Just tired. The leader, tall, mid-40s, graying beard, calm blue eyes, gave her a nod. Coffee. 4 cups. And whatever's hot. She managed a small smile. Coming right up. 10 minutes later, steaming plates of meatloaf and mashed potatoes sat in front of them. They ate quietly, politely, occasionally murmuring to one another. Emma started to relax until her phone buzzed again. Her smile vanished. She slid it out of her apron just enough to read the message. You can't ignore me forever, Emma. Her hands trembled. She'd changed her number twice. Blocked every profile. Even moved towns. But somehow, her ex-boyfriend, always found her. Emma tried to shake it off, but the next message came seconds later. You looked good in that uniform tonight. Nice diner. See you soon. Her eyes darted to the rain-streaked windows, her pulse spiking. That's when the bell above the door jingled. A man in a dark hoodie stepped inside, water dripping from his sleeves. He scanned the room, then spotted her. His smirk made her stomach twist. He took a seat in the far corner, eyes never leaving her. Emma's breath hitched. She grabbed the coffee pot and tried to keep busy, but her hands wouldn't stop shaking. When she passed by the biker table, one of them, the quiet one with the scar along his jaw, noticed. You okay, miss? He asked, his deep voice cutting through the low hum of the diner. Emma hesitated, glanced toward the man in the hoodie, then whispered, No. He's been following me for months. I think he's outside my apartment too. The biker's fork froze halfway to his mouth. He looked up at his leader. The leader set his coffee down, eyes narrowing. You sure it's him? Emma nodded, tears welling. He won't stop. I told the police, they said they'd look into it, but nothing's changed. He's here now. For a long second, none of the bikers spoke. Then the leader, Hank, as his jacket patch read, stood up slowly, napkin in hand. Stay behind the counter, he said calmly. The diner went silent. Hank walked over to the corner where the man in the hoodie sat, pretending to stir his coffee. The other 3 bikers stood up behind him, like a silent wall of muscle and leather. Evenin', friend, Hank said, his voice polite but heavy. You got business here? The man didn't look up. Just having coffee. Funny, Hank replied. The lady over there says you've been following her. The man's smirk faltered. That's none of your damn business. See, that's where you're wrong. Hank leaned down slightly. You made it our business the moment you scared her. The biker with the scar cracked his knuckles. So maybe you should finish your coffee somewhere else. The man tried to stand, but Hank's hand pressed gently yet firmly on his shoulder. Here's what's gonna happen, he said, his tone low. You're gonna leave, you're not gonna come back, and if we ever hear that you even looked her way again, well, we'll come find you. And trust me, we don't text first. The man's face turned pale. Without another word, he grabbed his jacket and rushed out into the rain. The sound of his tires screeching into the night echoed down the highway. Inside, no one said a word. Emma stood frozen behind the counter, her eyes wide. Hank walked back, grabbed a napkin, scribbled something on it, and slid it across the counter. That's our club's number. If he ever shows up again, you call. Doesn't matter what time it is. She blinked, speechless. Why would you help me? He gave her a small, tired smile. Because someone once helped my sister when she was in your shoes. We don't forget things like that. The rain had stopped when they finally left. The neon light flickered against the wet pavement as the roar of their motorcycles faded into the distance. Emma stood at the window long after they were gone, holding the napkin like a lifeline. For the first time in months, she felt safe, really safe. A week later, a small box arrived at the diner with no return address. Inside was a silver bracelet engraved with one simple word, brave. Emma smiled through tears, fastening it around her wrist. That night, when another lonely traveler came in looking cold and hungry, she paid for his meal out of her own pocket. Because she'd learned something from 4 bikers who walked in out of the rain, that kindness isn't about appearances. It's about heart. And sometimes, the roughest hands belong to the gentlest souls. Moral. You never know who might be the answer to someone's silent cry for help. A little courage and a little kindness can change a life.